Hello everyone. Before we get started, make sure to like and subscribe, and leave a comment saying where you're from and when you watched. That way, YouTube will continue to show you stories like this. Now, let's get started. Asterisk, after the night. I confronted him in the apartment. I knew I couldn't stay here any longer. Every wall, every dark corner seemed to contain his gaze. I knew there was only one way, to leave this haunted place and get to the bottom of everything. The past of the building, the land, and my family, everything was definitely connected. I began my journey by returning to the city library, where I had found information about the series of disappearances. This time, I asked for access to deeper archives, even police records. After much bureaucracy, I was led into a small room filled with old files, yellowed papers, and thick, dusty notebooks. I flipped through each page, each record, each piece of information made my heart ache. Among the missing workers from back then, many had left testimonies that they had been called out in the dark before disappearing. Some records said that they often saw a tall, thin figure hanging around the warehouse area. Everything matched eerily with what I was experiencing. I found a special file, recording the testimony of a young policeman who had participated in the investigation. He wrote that he had seen a strange man appear many times in the area, but when he tried to approach him, he disappeared right before his eyes. In the report, there was a line that was strongly crossed out, "Not an ordinary person." The more I read, the more I shuddered. He had existed here since before I was born, even before my grandfather disappeared. He did not age, did not change, always kept the same appearance, an entity beyond human understanding. As I was absorbed in reading, the light in the room suddenly flickered. I looked up, my heart clenched. In the frosted glass at the end of the room, I saw a tall, thin figure standing there. His red eyes glowed in the darkness. I blinked, and the image disappeared. I took a deep breath, telling myself that maybe I was just too nervous. But deep down, I knew that he had followed me all the way here. I continued to learn more about the land. Before it became a warehouse, this place used to be an old cemetery. Dozens of graves were moved to build a warehouse, but many of them had no remains. The people around the area protested, but the project still went ahead. I realized that this could be the root cause of why this place became a cursed land. I searched for more information about my family. After checking the residential records, I discovered that many of my distant relatives used to live around this area and also mysteriously disappeared, all without a trace. I began to understand that this curse was not only aimed at my grandfather, but at my entire family. And now, it was my turn to suffer. That night, I decided to stay at a small hotel instead of returning to the apartment. I hoped to escape him for at least one night, but even in my hotel room, I was uneasy. In the middle of the night, I heard a knock on the door. 3 times, then silence. I held my breath, not daring to open it. But in the mirror on the wall, I saw his shadow standing right in front of the door, motionless, staring at me. I rushed to pull the curtain over the mirror, shivering under the blanket. I knew that wherever I went, he would follow. I could not escape him because he was attached to my blood. I had no choice but to dig deep into the past to find some way to end this haunting presence. When dawn broke, I decided to look for religious records, ancient church records nearby, because only religion and faith could contain clues to explain and fight against an entity like him. But I also knew that the deeper I went, the closer I pushed myself to the abyss. And perhaps he was waiting for me to do just that. Stay tuned for the next episode to see what happens when I visit the old church where the exorcism rituals took place decades ago.